So I got this washer off Amazon, and this is my issue. So it looks really nice on the outside. It's gorgeous. I thought that, if I would pay a little bit extra money, that I would get a higher quality product, and I learned otherwise. That it's, I paid $200 for this little washer, and it turns out the barrel that holds the clothes on the other side of this, when you turn it upside down, is cracked. I'm not a professional. I decided to take this thing apart, and I discovered that there's a crack on the basin of this washer, and then it's so bad. This piece that goes in that corner is right here, and it's just completely broken, as you can see. I mean, look at this. Just extremely damaged. Even if I were to try to glue this back together and everything, I think eventually it would just come apart because look at this. As you can see, look at how deep the crack goes. But I took everything apart just so I could see how bad it is. I can't see, so I'm gonna use the video to help me. Use the camera to help me see how bad it is. That looks pretty bad. Given the circumstances, I'm lucky this tempered glass wasn't cracked, just based on the damage that's done on the barrel. Out of good faith, I put water in it. Water came leaking out everywhere. Luckily, I had this blanket here on standby, and I was able to get up all the water in a timely manner where it didn't. And I got other appliances in the kitchen. I would have to get all underneath the fridge and the stove and clean that water up. I didn't want to do all of that. I'm eligible for a refund, but at the same time, I'm also kind of impatient. I'm like, I want to kind of keep it. It looks nice, and I feel like I could repair it. Okay, I went to washer again. I discovered that there's some panels over here that go on the side, and you have to take those off first. And they're on each side. After you do that, you can simply just lift it up, as you can see. And it looks like I'm gonna have to do that on the back too, to take this whole lid part off. But this is the side. This is the inside of the washer. There's a screw here at the bottom. That just takes this part off here. It just takes this off, and let me see. Let me put the flash on because I need to see. So I was able to remove the transmission from the agitator. These are the 4 screws here in the middle where my finger is. As you can see, water gets inside here because that's rusty. I'm gonna have to line this up somehow when I get the transmission back on here, and then go back in and screw it. But in the meantime, the piece that broke was this. This is a whole puzzle piece. These are the cracks that you can see. And this is the point that I wanted to get to before I repaired it, is have full access to this basin and make sure that's all that's cracked. And it looks like it's just that one side there. So I'm going to take some glue and cover this whole side. I'm going to do 2 layers of this glue that I have here, E6000. It's self-leveling. It's a permanent bond, waterproof, paintable, flexible. It's everything that you would need in this situation. And I have an example of something that I used that someone broke. A guest of mine broke this, and it sticks together pretty good. This is how it dries. And I mean, this was broken completely, and I didn't think this could ever be repaired. I got this from Goodwill, and it just reminded me of my mom. It looked like something that she would buy. And so I'm planning on sanding it down. But yeah, it cracked on this side, but as you can see, here, let me show you. I can hold the tray on one side. I don't want to do it too much, you know. As you can see, it's kind of floating. You know, it's pretty strong. I don't want to do too much. I don't want to break it again. And I did both sides. As you can see here, I want to get all the nooks and crannies in here. I mean, this is pretty bad. It looks like they body slammed this thing. I just didn't want to. I just didn't want to see this go into the environment. And I know how to put it back together, and it'll be in working order. I would strongly suggest that you have plenty of ventilation while you do this. I don't have a fan on. It's kind of cold. It's like 20 degrees outside, so I don't kind of want to have the fan on right now, but I will turn it on later. Okay, so I let it sit for a couple of days after sealing everything up. It dries very clear. You can see some of the residue, but it's also very industrial strength hard. Like, I can't push it in. I can't. It feels just as hard as the actual plastic. It's the same amount, and there's no peeling that up. Like, you can't move that. So it's pretty much cured. I'm not gonna mess with it until Thursday or tomorrow. Today's Tuesday, so I'll wait till Thursday. Okay, update. I went on ahead and got this Envirotex light epoxy from Ace Hardware. So what ended up happening was that glue that I put on ended up coming up, and it started leaking again. So I decided to go ahead and put epoxy all on the bottom of this whole washer basin, and then I put water in it. It's cured for 24 hours. It's supposed to cure for 72 hours, but at 24 hours, it's super hard. There were some cracks that I didn't see initially, so hopefully this does it. Okay, so about 20 washes later, as you can see, it holds water really well. And I don't have this hooked up to any plumbing. I have old pipes here. I decided to also go to Lowe's and buy a drip pan. And there's no leaks. The only leakage is when I switch between the buckets. I fill up one bucket and leave one empty. And when it's time to drain the water, once one bucket gets full, I switch the hose. And then me switching the hose back and forth when I'm trying to drain the water, that leaks water. And so I have a mop here just for that. And I just mop around. I still haven't put the panels back. I should. This is the back panel. I still have it exposed. And I should put the under one on there. But I've been too lazy to do it. I like it how it is. And it's wonderful. I just started up. I go to the setting I want, which is wash. And then I tell it how much water is in the machine. So I'm only going to go to 2 liters or 2L, whatever that means. And press start. And here you go. It's washed and closed.